I'd like to call this Tuesday, October 20th, 2020 meeting of the Oldsmar City Council to order. If you would all please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance, which will be led by our city attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Father, we seek blessings on the tasks before us. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality. We pray that our work this evening will find favor in your sight. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Before we get started, just a reminder, because of the concerns of COVID-19, we're all trying to practice safe social distancing, CDC guidelines. So we ask, if you're not speaking at the podium, keep your face mask on, keep your neighbors safe, and we'll just keep rolling right along. All right, next item on the agenda is a citizens open forum. Before I'm going to call on someone first, because I like to try to acknowledge some of the past leadership who's in the room. So I'm going to call, because I know he is going to raise his hand. So I'm going to start on this side of the room and recognize former Mayor Doug Beavis, who is with us here. You can give him applause. Who's also, by the way, I should say, he is the Director of Business Development and Governmental Affairs for the Chamber.
Correct. I was going to say that, yeah. Doug Beavis, Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, 101 State Street, also known as downstairs. And back in the previous cooler administration, at one point, Holloway Funeral.
Is this back when Broniker was mayor?
I should not have paused, should I? In all honesty, back when before you were mayor, and even when you were on council, Holloway Funeral Home came to the city. Holloway Funeral Home, a business right here in the industrial area, came to the city and was looking into trying to offer cremation services. They can get into the breadth of what that means in the area, but that's not a permitted use in the city of Oldsmar. So I talked to Scott about kind of the process, that what happens, and I kind of relayed the experience of the tattoo ordinance that was not permitted. At that time, it was in the CRA. And so we looked at kind of what the theme was back when that ordinance was written, which I don't even know how long ago it was, and how things have changed. And so we equated that to where we are now with maybe cremation when the ordinance was first written, probably 25, you may know, I don't even know, 25, 30 years ago, and kind of where we are now. And he's brought somebody with him that can kind of do that. I thought this was going to be an agenda item, and I apologize for maybe turning this more into something informational, but Scott is here from Holloway Funeral Home because they would like to at least share how technology has changed in that industry and how it's really kind of a vital part for them to stay competitive in the business that they're in as an independent.
Why don't I do this? I'm going to say, is there anybody else on this side of the room who'd like to speak? And I'll recognize Scott. So
okay.
He has 5
Perfect.
minutes.
Yep.
That'll work out?
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, council members.
And for the record, if you could state your name and your address.
Yeah, my name's Scott Hickey. I'm one of the owners of Holloway Funeral Home. I live in Oldsmar. Our business is located in Oldsmar, right on State Road 580 and Bayview Boulevard. We've been a member of the community since 1987. Myself and Dave Meyer, we took over, bought the business from Art Holloway when he retired about 8 years ago. And we want to build our business, and I think to be relevant in today's age with the cremation rate, always increasing, we would like to be able to, start a retort or crematory in Oldsmar. That's what we're trying to do. Want to keep business here local. Community's been very good to us, and we'd like the opportunity to bring some, additional employees on staff to help with that side of the business. So I know this is just beginning stages, so I appreciate any guidance anyone can give me with that.
Okay.
And I do have an expert from the retort manufacturer, U.S. Cremations. They've put crematories across the country, around the world. He's a leading source. Anyone who does have any questions regarding environmental impact, things like that, he would be the gentleman to answer those questions. And his name is Brian Gamache. So, okay.
All right, well, if he's got a couple points that he wants to make, we'll try to keep it like to a couple minutes.
Sure.
And what I would envision happening, we'll probably have some discussion about this later. And if there's an appetite of the council to discuss it further, one of us will request it become an agenda item and it goes through the process, so.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We've been in the industry 54%, but every year it climbs by 1 or 2%. Here in the state of Florida, depending on where you are in the state, it can go up as far as 80%. On average, it's 60% in the state of Florida.
Right.
So, to remain relevant and competitive in the industry, you really need to embrace it.
Very good, very good. All right, well, thank you.
You bet.
Thank you. Is there anybody else on this side of the room? Tony?
My name is Tony Gross, 711 Sandleaf Avenue. And this is my husband. Craig and I and the O'Brien family would like to thank City Council, especially Katie and Andrew, for supporting us on Gold Star Mothers and Families Day at the park. We had a beautiful, private, touching ceremony. And I think of all the ceremonies that, it wasn't really a ceremony, it was a gathering, that was probably the most meaningful to me. So I just want to tell City Council, thank you very much for supporting us. Thank you. And I also wanted to thank Jeff Rosenfeld for the beautiful article in the newspaper about the event too. So thank you so much to all of you.
And it's official. Past the Veterans Affairs Committee, so it's.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
is official.
So the temporary kind of working made it work. So
Yes, yes.
It's all good.
I know that Rob and Kelly were grateful to be there. Rob has lived here for 25 years, I believe, and this was one of the first,
Give or take,
well, yes?
25 or so.
Do you want to come up? Do you want to come up and just? Okay. And he was grateful that his brother was honored, so thank you so very much.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you. Is there anybody else on this side of the room? Rob, you sure you don't? No? Okay. Anyone on this side of the room? Let's see, how about right here?
Good evening. My name is Judy Kennedy. I'm the District 21 President of the Veterans of Foreign Wars Auxiliary. I am here tonight on the behalf of the Gross family and for 12186 VFW Post and their VFW Auxiliary. They are under my wing also. I have 12 auxiliaries in District 21. And the reason I'm here, I gave you this picture. And if you look in the top right-hand corner, there is a picture of Corporal Frank R. Gross in the post office in Oldsmar. And if you look at the first letter I wrote on June the 18th to Diana Watson, asking her, I understand you have a picture of Corporal Gross. How would you like to have the post office in a memorial? All you need to do is give me permission, write me a letter, and I'll go from there and get Congressman Gus Bilirakis to introduce it first in the Florida House and Senate. It has to go there first. Then it goes back to Washington, D.C. to go to Congress and then the Senate, and once it's passed, the President of the United States signs it into law. I wrote a second letter to Diane Watson on September 21st after not hearing anything. These pictures that I gave you shows Corporal Gross when he was a child, a young man, before he went into the service. And the other one is him going into the United States Army. He is buried in Arlington Cemetery Corporal Frank Gross, Corporal, U.S. Army, Afghanistan. He was killed in action on September the 16th, 2011. Now, if the post office can have his pictures, why don't they want to memorialize it? Why don't they want it Corporal Frank R. Gross Memorial Post Office? I did it back in Elfers, Florida, where I get my mail, and it's known as PFC Felton Roger Fussell Memorial Post Office. What I'm asking you, Mayor Seidel, and your chamber, is to write a letter to Diane Watson, asking her once and for all, if you got the picture, why don't you want to memorialize it? Send me a copy of that letter so I can, and if I don't get an answer, I will be going forward.
Okay?
I thank you tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's a good idea.
If you haven't noticed, she's a mover and shaker.
Good to see you all.
I was worried she was armed for a moment there. The way she... Come on. We're on your side. You got the wrong place right here.
I don't have my conceal and carry yet, but
well-
I'm going for it.
All right.
Now.
Not trying to cause any trouble.
Just want to ask you one question.
Yes.
Tell me how old I am.
Ma'am? Ma'am,
Go ahead. You can, because you know. How old?
Don't go there.
48. Try 80 years old.
Wow, good for you. Good for you. You're so Siraki, too, by the way. Anybody else on this side of the room? All right, we got some special guests in the back. Suda, come on up.
Okay, hi guys, how we doing tonight?
Good.
Wonderful. Suda Yanis Cologne, 402 Arlington Avenue East, Oldsmar, Florida, 34677. We get that out of the way. We have something very special coming up this Saturday, 7:30 p.m. at the R.E. Olds Park. This is only the second musical that's been performed on that stage since it was built. And we've got a couple of our cast here tonight to share a little bit with you. See if I can hear this. There she goes. Double place. Okay, we're not ready to sing quite yet, but Madison is our genie. Assisting her this evening, Miss Bree as our Jasmine. And Mr. Christopher, come up beside him, guys. You got your masks on. We've sanitized. And Mr. Christopher is playing our Aladdin. So we do know that some of you guys are going to be able to join us this Saturday. It's very exciting. It's the first time I've tackled a bigger theater production on the stage down at the park. We do our dance recitals there every year at Christmas time, but we have a lot of different things, challenges that we face on trying to do singing and microphones and lights and sound. So this is a big event. We're very excited. Guys, take a pose. It is a free event. We will be social distance seating. We have the whole field out in front, so there'll be plenty of room. Bring your chairs. Bring a cooler and something to drink, but of course no alcoholic beverages, please. And come for a great show. Starts at 7:30 p.m. Should be over about 8:45. So we hope you guys can join us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Good job, y'all.
Good job, guys.
Do it real quick, please.
Will council come take a photo with our cast? Is that too much to ask?
It's way too much, but we're doing it.
Okay, good. Get your masks. Mask on. All right, who knows what movie that's from? Am I the only one that watches Avatar? The movie Avatar? Yeah. I guess so. I am the only one. There's a line in it that says masks on. Okay, go in front of them. Come on, you're the stars. We got them down from the dais. You got to take a pose. Get in there. Take a pose. Come on, there we go. Yep, they're jockeying for position.
Hold on, I'm gonna go a little bit higher than you guys.
That's these photographers. I'm so blessed. You guys all know I do photography, but I have the blessing of these two ladies helping us cover all the great photos for our show as well.
Hold on 1 second, I want to make sure. Totally smiling. I like
Oh,
it.
yes, we're all totally smiling. Thank you very much, everybody. Come on and join us. We're going back to rehearsal up to the park. Thank you very much. We say salam and good evening. Good job, guys. Thank you. See you all in Agrabah Saturday.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Suda. Anybody else on this side of the room? There's nobody, we ran the gamut that time. I'm telling you.
Got it.
Wow. Mayor took his glasses off. You can't see him.
Glad I got some coffee.
All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the Citizens Open Forum. Before we go on to the Community Minute and the rest of the agenda, Councilmember Norris has requested some time. She'd like to make a public statement. And so with that, if it is the pleasure of the council, then I'll go ahead and turn the floor over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm actually going to take this off, even though I have an underlying condition, because I don't want my words to be muffled. And I'm really glad that my VFW and VFW auxiliary people are here. I've put a lot of prayer and thought into this, so I'm going to try to get through it without crying. And I have to read it because I don't think I'll remember all of it without reading it. It is good to be back with y'all in person. My journey over the past few months have been filled with many challenges, but is also leading me to a new purpose in life. There's an absolute need to be a voice to those suffering from mental illness. I will begin a new chapter, and that is to stand up for and be a public advocate for mental health issues. It is time to end the stigma surrounding this. I would like you all to know how very sorry I am for the embarrassment brought to the city of Oldsmar following my arrest. Please know how sincere I am in this. I have served our citizens with pride for many years. I will not be running for re-election, and this current term will be up in March 2021. As for the question regarding my resigning, I will repeat my previous statement that if events unfold that warrant it, I will do so. I understand that some of you don't agree with my decision. I can also assure you that I have much support in favor of my decision. When I first ran for office in 2009, I did not hide my struggles with alcohol or that of the 2 DUIs I got while attending college. Much has been said and written about them, and I would like to remind you all that they happened decades ago. For more than 30 years, I have been active in 12-step programs, have mentored women and children affected by this disease, and have volunteered for and been on the boards of organizations such as the Chrysalis House, which is a recovery home for women, and the St. Francis Foundation's Everyday Blessings Group foster home, and that many of the children are in that foster home due to their parents with drug and alcohol problems. And our mission there is to keep sibling groups together. I do this work, but have not, until now, had the courage to speak out publicly about it. During this global pandemic of COVID-19, speaking out has become more important than ever, and I am not alone in this. Famous folks such as Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, Dak Prescott, the quarterback for the Cowboys, Prince Harry, Prince William, and even The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, just to name a few, have all spoken out in hopes of bringing awareness to this silent killer. I'm shaking, sorry. Just this month, JAMA, which is the Journal of American Medical Association, published a study relating to the effects of COVID, stating that, quote, a second wave is building, rising rates of mental health and substance use disorders, unquote. A June 2020 study from the CDC has, quote, found that 40.9% of respondents reported at least one adverse mental or behavioral health condition, including depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, and substance abuse, with rates that are 3 to 4 times that of the rates 1 year earlier. Remarkably, 10.7% of the respondents reported seriously considering suicide in the last 30 days. Thus, the effects of COVID-19 deaths on mental health will be profound. The report ends with the following statement, quote, "In such societies, there is a shared understanding that its members must care for one another because the loss of one is the loss for all. Above all, the shared understanding must be restored," unquote. It is for these greater goods that I will join these voices in what will be my final platform on this council, as well as what I will dedicate the rest of my life to. I am currently enrolled in the Recovery Coach Academy to become a nationally certified recovery coach professional and a state certified recovery peer specialist. It is important for me to be open about this, so folks in similar situations can realize that they are not worthless. We do not have to live in shame. We are not alone. There is hope. I thank you all for your time and attention. I hope and pray for your understanding. Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And let me say this. Thank you for apologizing to our citizens. I think it's important for them to hear that directly from you.
I agree.
And I know you've apologized to us up here privately, individually, but I know that was difficult for you. I think we've shared our opinions on things. We don't agree. We don't agree. And so with that, but I know that was difficult for you, and I think it was the right thing to do, so I'm glad that you were able to do that. All right?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
All right. We're going to move on. Focus on business. All right, next item on the agenda is Community Minute. Our city clerk, Ann Nixon, will rattle those off to us.
As you know, Disney's Aladdin Jr. Opal Theater presents Disney's Aladdin Jr. at Ariel's Park on Saturday, October 24th at 7:30. Free family fun. Bring a chair or blanket. Maximum 8 people per group with social distancing. But it's going to be a great time. This one can't wait to go. And we have Haunted Happenings. It's a free drive-through event at the Oldsmar Sports Complex on Friday, October 30th from 7 to 9. Plenty of family-friendly, ghoulish fun while social distancing. Well, there'll be witches and, well, at least witches and all sorts of other stuff and lots of fun. So come on by and drive through. And then great news, 2020 census. The 2020 census wrapped up last week. Our city was #1 in Pinellas County.
Awesome.
14th in the state of Florida. So thank you to all of our Oldsmar residents who participated to be counted. Great job.
All right.
Very good. That's exciting to
It was
hear.
Katie's video that did it.
I think so. It was.
Yours was the best. I did one, yeah.
Very good.
But Katie's just shined.
All right. Next item on the agenda, approval of additional new agenda items. Item number 9, 14, and 15 are all new. Does anybody wish to pull anything for discussion? Sensing not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve those items. I have a motion by Norris, seconded by the vice mayor. Any discussion? Yeah. Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Next item on the agenda, awards and recognition. Item number 1, presentation of council manager award for October 2020. Unfortunately, the recipient of this could not be here tonight, so we're going to go ahead and reschedule it for another time, and we're going to leave you in suspense till that time to tell you who's won it. Next item on the agenda. Item number 2, presentation of Florida Green Building Coalition certified Florida Green Local Gold Level Certificate. I'm going to read that again.
You need to read that too.
The Florida, well, I'm going to introduce J.C. Davila. Is that correct? CJ, oh, all right. Not so much for my notes. He's the executive director with the Florida Green Building Coalition, and he's got something exciting for our city. And I can either call our Sustainability Coordinator up now, or I'll let you do that when you're ready in your presentation about that.
Sure.
All right.
Good evening. My name is CJ Davila, and I am the Executive Director of the Florida Green Building Coalition. The Florida Green Building Coalition was formed in the year 2000 and is the leading certifying agency for green building within the state of Florida, having just surpassed our 25,000th project. To date, 78 local governments have participated in the Green Local Government Program. This program is unique within the country. It creates an environment of communication and coordination amongst different departments. This collaboration streamlines processes, decreases redundancies, and generates new approaches towards sustainability and resource prevention. Its success emanates from the fact that there's a sizable and compelling return on investment for any municipality, thus reducing the cost to taxpayers. The designation demonstrates exemplary leadership by Mayor Seidel, Vice Mayor Gannon, Council Members Norris, Saraki, Knapp, and City Manager Braithwaite, who provided the framework and support to move forward with the certification. I also wanted to recognize Ashley Painter and all of the staff that worked on this tremendous accomplishment. The Green Certification Program scores the city in terms of categories. These categories include energy efficiency, water, economic development, tourism, emergency management, planning and zoning, and many more. In each of the categories, there are points to be achieved. Some of the highlights from the city of Oldsmar's certification, they maintain an office, person, or group to coordinate current and future green activities, implement energy efficient lighting and controls for outdoor courts, parks, and playgrounds, develop a construction project waste management and recycling plan, operate a website dedicated to green city programs, and require recycling at all local government buildings. The city of Oldsmar achieved 54% of its 324 points, earning them a gold level designation, which is a tremendous accomplishment. And that score represents the third highest scoring city in the state of Florida. So congratulations. The City of Oldsmar has been certified since 2013, and on behalf of our members, our board of directors, and the citizens of the state of Florida, we'd like to recognize the City of Oldsmar for all their efforts to create a sustainable, resilient, and environmentally responsible community. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And Ashley, our Sustainability Coordinator, if you come up, we're going to let you get the presentation since you've done all the work on, no, not all the work, but led the work on it. I'm going to say that.
It was a very big group effort, I will say that, across every department.
I'm going to come up there with you.
Okay.
You doing a photo op?
Go ahead.
I can do it here in front of the dude.
Yeah, right in front of that sign.
Right here? Mayor, I was on the team that got us to silver. Can I be in the photo? Do you mind?
Sure.
Oh.
I was on the team, yeah,
Sure.
to silver, so.
Great. Do it. Let's do it.
Nice work.
That was the third highest score in the state.
Currently, yes.
Pretty amazing.
All right. Yeah. Close. Get in close.
Everybody look at this.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
Is this gonna be hung up in here?
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it's gonna be hung up. Probably.
I'm the sunset of my career, so.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time working on this as a city and our staff, and it's one heck of an accomplishment. You know, I recall back when we were talking about designing this building and all the work that went into when we were still met over there, and I think it kind of really got the ball rolling. I know we had already been working on things, but it was like extra effort after that. And so congratulations, Nan and the team and everybody. I mean, great job. Great job. All right. Agenda presentation of Homer Brunson Ward Schreckengosch Award for the third quarter 2020. And here to explain it is a familiar face, former Mayor Beaverland.
Oh, is Mayor Beaverland?
The Homer Brunson Ward Schreckengosch Award was instituted in 1991. And what it was for, it was for one of our workers here in the city that was chosen by their peers to win the Ward Schreckengosch Homer Brunson Award. And what the award is, it serves two purposes. One, to recognize an outstanding worker here that works for the city of Oldsmar. And the other, what it serves is that Ward Schrettengoss and Homer Brunson were both council members here in the city of Oldsmar. Ward Schrettengoss served as mayor for 16 years. His last year on the council serving was 1970. I had the privilege of serving with him on his last year. And Homer Brunson served 11 years as a council member and 1 year as a mayor. And this serves two purposes: to honor Ward Schrettengoss and Homer Brunson, and to honor one of the incredible workers we have in the city of Oldsmar.
And with that, I will turn it over to our city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Partially from COVID, we've allowed the employees to make a choice on how they'd like to receive the award. The award recipient for this quarter was Derek Kawanaki from Facilities, and I hope we have a picture of him. Uncomfortable silence. There we go.
There you go.
Derek was nominated for the work he performs every day, specifically with regard to disinfecting all of our facilities and parks during the course of COVID. I guess I didn't have my glasses on there. And he's just one of those guys that's like whatever you need, and always got a smile, which you probably can't see there. And he'll do anything you need him to do. He always tries to be better than he was the day before. I mean, he epitomizes all of what former Mayor Beaverland said about what we like the award to represent, and I was really, really excited to give it to him. But he chose. But one of the things we really found that's a benefit from, if you want to call it a silver lining from COVID, was that we like to recognize these kinds of awards in front of the employees. Now, you obviously can't see from that angle, but there was about 40 plus socially distanced employees in the lobby of City Hall there. And there's a real nice energy to it because he's getting rewarded in front of his employees. We appreciate the council's allowing us to do that, since the award's named after two former council members, but it plays well. And if I do let the employee decide if he wants to double the presentation or do it here or there, but for today, both the awards we gave were in the lobby of City Hall, but very well deserved. Derek Kawanaki, from Facilities.
Well, we'll give him a round of applause. All right, next item on the agenda, item number 4, presentation of employee service awards. City Manager Albright.
Same kind of thing, sir. As you know, we usually do presentations on service awards here, partially due to COVID. Another idea that we kind of liked out of this was presenting these awards to the employees directly. So we did it in the lobby of City Hall this morning, and we had one award today for a 20-year service award for Captain Dave Young of the Fire Department. Well, can you put that one back for a sec? Consistent with our tradition, we dig into their file and put the picture of them when they first worked here. So that's Dave Young 20 years ago. And usually it works better to embarrass him when he's standing here, but you get the effect. We passed it around this morning. So again, there's not much it's pretty straightforward. Dave's Service Award. Can we roll to the other picture, please? Dave's Service Award, obviously he's been here a long time serving. We hired him as a medic. He got promoted 3 times to a lieutenant, then an admin lieutenant, now to captain. He's in charge of EMS, our EMS operation. He's a CME instructor for the county. I call him the glue guy. Apparently he's an Auburn graduate or fan or Eagle. We won't hold that against him. But the great thing about him, and one of the 2 things that we recognized this morning, was he and his wife, Jen, who you see there, used to be our employee representatives for Relay for Life, which 10 years ago was an overnight gig. And they did it for like over 10 years overnight every year. Now, what Ann's done with it is fabulous, but I can't even fathom how much work that takes when you're literally parking somewhere hoping that people are doing something, overnight. So we recognize him for that. He's also served on the Firefighter Pension Board for over 10 years, and the union labor team. So obviously his guys and gals have a lot of respect for him and a lot of time for him. That's his son, Michael, I think his name is. I always get him confused. I call him Ben, but I think it's Michael. And we wanted to say thank you for the 20 years that he gave us. I call him the glue guy. He's kind of you know how your senior guys turn into pros that kind of bring the younger guys along. He's the guy that they most go to when they either got a problem or just something. You watch him work and you're really, really proud that he kind of acts like the guy that kind of keeps everybody together. And I thought that was worthy of note. So again, I appreciate it. Dave Young, 20 years of service, 10/2/2020, October 2nd, which of course is a couple weeks ago.
Very good. Give him a round of applause. Next item on the agenda, Community Redevelopment Agency. We have nothing there. After that, we have our consent docket, which will be announced by our city clerk, Ann Nixon.
Number 5, approve minutes of the October 6, 2020 City Council meeting. And item number 6, approve payment to legal counsel for September 2020 legal services.
Thank you. Is there anybody who wishes to pull anything from the consent docket? No, sir. No. At this time, this chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion. I have a second. Any discussion? Sense and you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Next item on the agenda, City of Oldsmar. Item number 7, approve appointment of Alex McDonald as regular member of the Veterans Advisory Board. And I see that he is not here. For those of you who don't know, we've kind of made it a policy not to require people to come while we make appointments because of COVID. And so we respect that. And they're just going to have to, in the future, do the dance that we require, when they come up and we appoint them. So at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve Alex McDonald. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion, and I have a second. Any discussion?
Thank you for serving, Mr. McDonald.
Go ahead.
I would like to say, I know Alex and he is wonderful. I would just like to say thank you for your service to our country and thank you for your willingness to serve on this board. You're going to be a great addition.
Absolutely. All right. Sense you're ready to vote? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. And item number 8, approve appointment of Dennis Sazfran as alternate member of the Veterans Advisory Board. Once again, same situation. They're not here with us. I'm looking real quick to make sure I didn't. Okay, good. All right, get the train rolling. All right, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion and I have a second. Any discussion?
I would like to echo the same thoughts. Thank you for your service and thank you for your willingness to serve. It's an important board.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They do a great job. They do a great job. All right, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Let's give those two a round of applause for that. They're not here, but it just feels right doing that, All right, item number 9, presentation of proclamation for Florida City Government Week, which is a new agenda item, and our vice mayor is going to be reading this proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. The Florida City Government Week Proclamation. Whereas city government is the government closest to most citizens and the one with the most direct daily impact upon its residents, and whereas municipal government provides services and programs that enhance the quality of life for residents, making their city their home, and whereas city government is administered for and by its citizens and is dependent upon public commitment to and understanding of its many responsibilities. And whereas city government officials and employees share the responsibility to pass along the understanding of public services and their benefits, and whereas Florida City Government Week offers an important opportunity for elected officials and city staff to spread the word to all citizens of Florida that they can shape and influence this branch of government. And whereas the Florida League of Cities and its member cities have joined together to teach citizens about municipal government through a variety of activities. Now, therefore, I, Katie Gannon, Vice Mayor on behalf of Eric Seidel, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim October 19th through 25th, 2020, as Florida City Government Week in the city of Oldsmar, and encourage all citizens, city government officials, and employees to recognize and celebrate Florida City Government Week, dated this 20th day of October, 2020. Signed, our mayor.
Presentation-wise, why don't you come up here, and can I get the charter officials as well as Felicia to come up for the photo?
Katie, I need to take some lessons from you. That was read very well. Was it? You didn't practice?
Our citizens may have noticed some really cool Facebook posts past couple of days about our city government, council manager form of government, and our city officials, our charter officials.
Are we all coming down?
Very good.
Very nice.
You actually smile.
I know, I always smile.
In as much as good government is about the folks who get elected, you know, I'm also reminded, as I know all of us up here are quite often, that it's about the professionals, actually, who conduct it, make sure it's transparent, make sure it's done properly, executes, you know, the strategies and so forth that the council sets in terms of priorities. So that's why I wanted to bring them up here for that, because I think that you won't find a finer government and group of professionals than we have here in Oldsmar. So you don't get brought up very often.
Good job.
So I just thought I would do. All right. And you want to talk about professional, look at this professional report. City Attorney.
I have nothing tonight, thank you.
Outstanding.
Good work, sir.
8:11 is the first pitch. All right, next on the agenda is the city manager.
The World
Thank you, Mayor.
Series.
Item 10 is request council approval to waive bid requirements and award purchasing of computers and other related IT equipment to VTech-IO based on the same pricing terms and conditions as the State of Florida DMS contract number 432-11500-WSCA-15 ACS on piggyback form 16-002 for an amount not to exceed $40,000. To ensure network security and enhance user experience, the Administrative Services Department will be continuing an annual tradition of upgrading the PCS replacements with Windows 10 machines, and we will upgrade approximately 40 PCs with laptops this year. The appropriations for the purchases are in the amount of $40,000 in the budget, in the Administrative Services Department capital budget in the general fund, and staff recommends approval.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve. I have a motion, do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item 11.
Thank you, Mayor. Another purchasing item. Item 11 is request council approval to waive bid requirements and award the purchase of library materials to Baker & Taylor for the fiscal year 2020-2021 under the same terms and conditions and pricing as the State of Florida DMS contract number 55000000-20-NY-ACS on CC Form 21-005A. Baker & Taylor is a major supplier of library books and materials nationwide. The Oldsmar Public Library has historically purchased approximately half of the annual books and materials from Baker & Taylor each fiscal year. State of Florida DMS contract is available for use only by public agencies within Florida and is valid now through May 31st of 2022. Contract exhibits are on file and available for review upon request. Funding is available in the 2021 operating budget in the library books and materials accounts. The annual expenditure to Baker & Taylor under the State of Florida contract is anticipated to be approximately $45,000, and staff recommends approval.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, do I have a
Second.
second? I have a motion, I have a second. Discussion.
As long as Susan's happy.
Books, do you need books?
Nerds unite.
Since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item 12.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 12 is a request for council to adopt Resolution 2020-35, authorizing and directing prepayment of the drinking water the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Agreement, number DW 5214010. I'd like to read the resolution in title only, but I did have a couple of comments if you would indulge me. The resolution title 2020-35, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, authorizing and directing prepayment of the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Agreement, number DW 5214010, and providing an effective date. Mayor, that concludes the reading of Resolution 2020-35. I would ask for indulgence at council's request to make a few other comments.
Let me get a motion in a second. A motion to approve the resolution as presented.
So moved.
I have a motion. Second. Do I have a second? Discussion. City manager.
I just wanted to say, I'm going to read a little bit of this. I'm not sure why my glasses are failing me, but I want to say that Administrative Services is starting to show off, and being the former Administrative Services Director, this to me is really impressive, and it's a sign that the results of this, if approved, should definitively help us in other entities, which I had conversations with most of you about. But specifically here, this is an opportunity for us to pay off debt that has 2 years remaining. And in the process, which will come to you in the form of a master bond resolution, will also be effectively refinancing the 2 pieces of SRF debt we have for the water plant. Now, in normal economic times, there is no such animal as the ability to refi SRF debt, mostly because the interest rate on SRF debt is generally so low that a private bond or a bond issue would not carry enough of a yield savings to be considered a good idea. Specifically, finance came up with this. We looked at all of the pieces of the SRF debt with this in mind and decided that this was close enough to maturity that it would make more sense to just go ahead and pay it off, which is what I'm asking council to approve tonight. But the bigger and more impressive piece of this is that when we ask for approval for the master bond resolution, it's going to be to issue a bond that will form as a refi of the 2 larger pieces of the SRF debt we have left over, if you will, from the water plant. And the beautiful part of this is that it will yield about $175,000 to $200,000 in savings on the same term as what we have now as far as the payment goes. And more importantly, it'll free up the penny money that we currently have a piece of dedicated or pledged to that debt. That will greatly help us for all of our options over here. And specifically, I'd like Cindy to be acknowledged for this because we have great financial advisors, but Administrative Services really impressed me on this one. I just want to acknowledge them.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you what, it's impressive when people are on the ball where they are mindful and spot these things, you know? That's professionalism, you know, is what we're talking about a moment ago. And also what it does to our debt tolerance moving forward. You know, this is strategic planning at its best. And so such appreciation for their hard work and diligence and professionalism, so.
Some people are refinancing their houses, and Cindy thinks to, why don't we refinance all the debt?
Yeah.
You know, brilliant.
CRF is not normally in that area. They're like the
Yeah.
3%ers or 2%ers. But, all right.
Creative and really cool.
All right, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
You wrote it.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Read the resolution.
We're good.
Okay.
Yep.
You read it.
I was wondering if it was a roll call vote, that's all, sorry. Okay, sorry.
No?
Thank you, Mayor. Item 13 is request council approval for work order number 5 to the 2018-007 RFQ for Jones Edmonds and Associates to provide geographic information system support for public works. The city's GIS database and maps for infrastructure, especially the buried utilities, are in need of an update. Additionally, the city is upgrading to a web-based GIS platform that will better facilitate a viewer and mobile access to this data. Therefore, staff is seeking geospatial consulting services to review and improve the existing public works GIS database, improve location data and accuracy, and assist with implementing an ArcGIS online presence, allowing staff to view and edit GIS data both in the office and in the field. Work order number 5 will be performed by Jones Edmonds and Associates under the general engineering services agreement we have with them for utilities professional services. The agreement is number RFQ 2018-007 on a time and material basis not to exceed $60,000, and staff recommends approval.
And Chair will entertain a motion to approve. So moved. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item 14.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 14 is request council approval to waive bid requirements and approve the purchase of Microsoft Office 365 or 365 license renewal to SHI International Corporation under the pricing terms and conditions of the State of Florida DMS contract number 432-30000-15-02 on piggyback form 18-003A. Office 365, which is an online productivity suite, is used by city employees for city email and Microsoft Office applications, including Word, Excel, Teams, and SharePoint. The city has maintained a Microsoft Enterprise Agreement for Office 365 licenses since October 2015, utilizing the State of Florida contract, which is available to governmental entities for software purchases and is valid through January 31st, year 2022. Total cost of the fiscal year 2021 licenses will be $25,721.40, and staff recommends approval.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve. I have a motion and I have a second. Is there any discussion?
I'm in the wrong business.
I'm telling you, man. That 365, they get you. All right, since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 15.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 15 is request council approval for the Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding Program, or CESF, grant agreement with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. State of Florida Department of Law Enforcement has received an award from the United States Department of Justice in the amount of $31,797,466 for the Coronavirus Emergency Supplemental Funding Grant. This program focuses on providing funding to eligible state, local units of government, and tribes for the prevention, preparation, and response to the coronavirus. City of Oldsmar is eligible to receive an allocation in the amount of $65,244. Grant funds will be used towards the reimbursement of laptops that were purchased specifically for employees to work remotely and the purchase of UV light sanitizer wands to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Grant funds will also be used to build a larger substation in City Hall for our community policing deputies with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office so they may work in a space more appropriate for social distancing. Cesf recommends approval. My only comment to that would be all grants are expenditure driven. Obviously, we haven't spent money. We did have money in the budget for a upgrade to the substation. This became an opportunity. Normally, we get the grant award officially or ceremonially, ask the council to approve it before we do anything. Well, obviously, we have spent some of the money for the laptops and the wands, and in the other portion, we haven't spent it yet. If we don't spend it, we won't get it. That still holds true. This particular grant program functions kind of like the application and the award announcement at the same time.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I had some questions about it. I was going to ask you, but you answered that. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion and a second. My only question was going to be, if we didn't spend it all, could it go back into the emergency fund? I know that it cannot.
Now, one of the
But hopefully, we'll see that from the county.
Very well could.
And, we didn't use all 100, we used 30. So, we still were there for our citizens. All right. It's a good discussion I have with myself. All right, anybody else have a comment they'd like to add? Since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 16.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 16 is request council approval to waive bid requirements and authorize the purchase and installation of motor and pumps to upgrade the high service pump number 1 at the reverse osmosis water treatment plant, or as we know it, the ROWTP, by Mater Electric Motors per the Lee County contract number B190409JJB on piggyback form 20-028. The high service pump at the RO plant is responsible for pumping drinking water into the potable water distribution system and maintaining the necessary pressure and fire protection for the city. The station includes 3 large 100 horsepower pumps and 1 smaller 40 horsepower jockey pump. During normal day operations, pumping is managed through 1 large pump and duty operations are rotated amongst the 3 100 horsepower pumps. The smaller jockey pump has historically been utilized overnight when flows are lower to save energy. However, in recent years, flows have increased overnight, requiring pumpage greater than the jockey pump capacity. This project will upgrade the undersized jockey pump to 100 horsepower duty pump and will include the installation and appurtenances to accommodate the larger equipment, including a concrete pump bed, valving, and piping. The work will be performed by Mater Electric Motors under the previously mentioned Lee County contract, and staff recommends approval. I believe there's a question or two that I do know the answer to, but I'll probably yield the floor if the questions come up to Public Works Director.
All right, well, then I'm going to entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
And a second, please.
Second.
Discussion. Questions? Councilmember Knapp.
I've got a technical question.
Engineer.
Engineering mind.
Engineering.
Gears started turning.
Was that supposed to be a little funny there?
That's a little pump.
That's a pretty good one.
Engineering funny.
That was good. That's engineering.
We've got jokes too.
Engineers aren't really that funny though.
I'm not sure if the city manager had briefed you on my question at all, but it just pertains to the pumps in general. If we're already operating on the 100 horsepower pump and just duty cycling between those three that are in existing, wouldn't we just be able to run those three without adding the fourth one, especially since it's the same size? Or is there a reason why the fourth one is actually needed?
I understood your question better when I reread the memo.
Okay.
We often are running two pumps.
Okay.
And so the third one is a redundant pump, as we're required to have. And then if we were to just not replace this one at all, the jockey pump, then if we were to have anything out of service for any reason, then we wouldn't have a redundant pump. The other thing that you may recall is back on September 3rd, you approved the purchase of 4 different variable frequency drives that are also part of this project. We pre-purchased that from Icon, and the variable frequency drives will allow us to run those at a more efficient rate so that we're not using the energy of a 100 horsepower pump unless we need it.
Fully understood. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no, that's a good answer. It's great.
I have one question.
Go right ahead.
Are any of the pumps defective or getting old, or are we having problems with any of the pumps?
No, they're all in good operational condition. We've had them maintenanced, and we're replacing the variable frequency drives on all 4 of them because that's more of an electronic piece of equipment than a mechanical or electrical. Mechanical or electrical equipment has a pretty good lifespan of, somewhere 20 and 30 years, and we're doing good on those. We've checked the check valves and other things like that. It looks in good condition. So
I just remember being at the ribbon cutting when I first got involved, and it wasn't very long ago, but I guess it was.
I think we just prepaid off the loan, and I think we're coming up on 20 years.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome. Hadn't been long at all. What did I say earlier? He's the same age. That was come back around? Never mind. All right. Any other questions? Since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Is that it, sir?
That's it. Thank you, sir.
All right. City Clerk, item 17. This isn't important, is it?
It is. Item number 17, adopt resolution 2020-38, setting the final ballot language for the March 9, 2021 municipal election and declaring Andrew Knapp elected as council member for seat 3. The qualifying period for the March 9, 2021 municipal election ended October 2nd, 2020. 2 people qualified for council member seat 1 and 1 person qualified for council member seat 3. Seat 1 will have an election in March 2021, and seat 3 is considered elected as the qualified candidate is unopposed. The city charter section 6.05 requires city council to prescribe the form of the ballot by resolution. I'll read resolution 2020-38 by title only. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, prescribing the ballot language for the March 9, 2021 municipal election for position of council member for seat 1, declaring Andrew Knapp as council member for seat 3, and providing for the effective date hereof.
All right. The chair will entertain a motion to approve or to adopt resolution 2020-38, setting the final ballot language for the March 9th, 2021 municipal election and declaring Andrew Knapp as elected council member for seat 3. Chair will entertain that motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a second. I'm not taking you as a second for your own. Vice Mayor, second? All right. We'll do a roll call for this. Any discussion? Sensing none.
Get it out now.
Let's do a roll call.
Roll call. Councilmember Norris?
Absolutely.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Councilmember Knapp?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Seidel?
Yes.
Resolution 2020-38 is adopted with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, all 3 of you.
Thank you.
That's a great feeling.
That's a great feeling, and congratulations to our candidates who are both here. That's good stuff. On the ballot. Oh, boy. Not getting out of it this time. All right, next item. City Council, do you have anything else, City Clerk?
Just happy birthday to Vice Mayor Gannon.
All right. Next item, City Council, item 18, schedule a work session for Ordinance Review Committee report presentation. I know we have a few dates. Did we by chance settle into one in your meetings, Al?
The closest I got was the middle one was not good, but a consensus that everybody seemed to be able to make the first or the last one.
All right. Show of hands, Thursday, the 29th? Yes?
I can do either, yeah.
We're just gonna go with the first one. We're done, just like that. All right, that's the date.
All right.
Item number 19, cancel December 15th, 2020 City Council meeting.
Move.
There's a tradition here.
Sorry.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
There is a tradition here, so the public knows, if they're not aware, that typically when we get to, there's 2 points in the year where we typically don't have much business to do. It's either the holidays, it's that time, and so sometimes bringing everyone together during that time does not really make a lot of sense. And so this is one of those times. So at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to cancel the December 15, 2020 City Council meeting.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Vice Mayor. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 20, approve the tentative agenda for November 3rd, 2020. Is there anybody who wishes to pull anything? All right, the chair will entertain a motion. I'm going to entertain a motion to also add the discussion to it of crematoriums. Is that right? Have a discussion about it. Let's see if there's anything we want to do on that. All right, so at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the tentative agenda as amended.
So moved.
I have a motion.
Second.
And I have a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item number 21, council comments. I'm going to start with Councilmember Norris.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday, Vice Mayor Gannon. Katie, happy birthday. And since, Mr. Mayor, you pointed out that the first pitch is at 8:11, I'm going to go really fast. And obviously, congratulations to the Rays for making it to the World Series. It's just amazing. Real quick, honor that the VFW Auxiliary has gotten. We were the only and first auxiliary in District 21 to reach not only 100% membership, we reached 111.11%. So that means we retained members and got new members. So not only do we have the highest percentage, we're the first to get above 90 in order to be in a contest. So that's really cool. And I was going to talk about something else, but I'm going to wait till the next one.
There you go. All right.
For you, Mayor.
Councilmember Shiraki.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple things. First of all, happy birthday, Katie. Very important. I had one time I had my birthday on a council meeting years ago, and it was exciting to be here. And then, Andrew, I want to say congratulations because winning unopposed is really a cool thing. I mean, I know how you feel right now. I've been there, and I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Last night, very important, last night, the City of Safety Harbor Commission voted last night to keep the City of Oldsmar on the PSTA board, so I will serve another year.
Yay!
I'll go over to Safety Harbor, but
Do we need to reappoint you? Did your term expire?
Al?
Yeah, city manager.
My thought there was the answer to that would be no. They specifically asked Dan to serve.
Oh, good. All right.
Nice.
So because it's Safety Harbor's term, it's Safety Harbor's call. Because they knew Dan was so interested, they asked him to serve. So
good.
I would say we don't have
Good
to do
job.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, we would have done it, but
Well,
I just wanted to make you a little nervous.
I'm on the Finance Committee. I'm also on the Legislative Committee for the PSTA. I really, really enjoy PSTA. When you, Mayor, allowed me to go to that board, I knew nothing about transportation. Seriously, I knew nothing. Now I love it. And I just want to say, thank you, Mayor, for nominating me to be on that board. I really do enjoy it.
Well, you've done a good job. I've gotten feedback on you.
Yeah,
so.
I've met some great people, I've met some great friends, and I just want to say, thank you to you and the city of Oldsmar for allowing me
And
to
Safety
do it.
Harbor. So
Yeah,
thank you.
and Safety
Yeah,
Harbor,
we
thank you
appreciate
guys.
it.
All right, and then last thing, I just want to say one thing, Linda. I was really mad at you. I really was.
I understand.
And I just want to say that what you said today helped me a lot. I understand what you're going through, and I want you to know that I forgive you. And I wish you a lot of luck in the future and what your endeavors are. I think you're a very good person. You just ran into a bad situation and you did not get out of it. And I just want you to know that I was really upset about a couple things. I had some things I was going to say tonight, but I've decided because of what you said, I'm not going to say them. I just want you to know that I forgive you. Right?
I'm sorry, I have to do that. Thank you.
Man, love festival.
All right, that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, that's all you get.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Dan.
Councilmember Knapp.
Dan, you don't know much.
Mayor, I just have a couple of things. First, I just wanted to say thanks again to Judy Kennedy for stopping by and speaking on behalf of the Gross family about the post office. I think that's something we probably will get on board with, trying to nudge the postmaster there. She celebrated her 80th birthday last Thursday while at our VFW auxiliary meeting.
Oh, wow.
We were the only people that celebrated with her for her 80th birthday at Oldsmar Care, so I thought that was really special.
It was beautiful.
Second thing, I brought it up with the city manager earlier in our meeting, but I don't know if any of the rest of you noticed, but Burbank Road is really kicking off and stirring up some dirt over there now, and I'm pretty excited about that, crossing through there all the time for work. And then finally, I got my baseball socks on. Go Rays. Let's bring it home tonight.
Let's do it.
Game one.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, Vice Mayor.
Yes, Mayor, thank you very much. I am looking forward to the production this weekend of Aladdin Jr. I hope to see you all there. I really appreciated that the kids came out tonight to show us a little piece of it. That's always exciting to see them. And I wanted to thank all the citizens and staff and council members for wishing me a happy birthday. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. If I could just for a moment address Councilmember Norris, I appreciate what you said tonight. I, like Dan, also on a personal level, absolutely forgive you because you sought my apology. However, as a member of this council, sometimes I have to explain an uncomfortable position. And this is one of those moments. And I know we've talked about this at length, and we have kind of discussed it at several council meetings now, and I will leave it after this, but I do feel compelled to note a couple of things. If you'll allow me to just read a moment, I'd appreciate it.
Go right ahead.
I agree with Councilmember Norris that mental health is an important issue for which to advocate awareness and the availability of help and services. Between the election, ongoing coronavirus pandemic, unemployment, inability to travel, the burdens on our populations of all ages is astounding, as she mentioned. However, mental health is not a local government initiative for the city of Oldsmar. We support financially entities that provide Oldsmar and its citizens help with mental health issues, including Oldsmar Cares, Maddie Williams, 211, and dozens more that she actually mentioned, which was great to learn about. The county, as an arm of the state, has a health department and a budget to confront these issues and help our citizens deal with them. A month ago, actually, the county passed a $2.6 billion budget. Among the county priorities addressed in the budget are behavioral health services linking residents in need with critical services through support for the homeless helpline, counseling, and other services for those with persistent mental illness through a collaborative health team and other initiatives. Sheriff Galtieri last month announced the expansion of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office unit that handles mental health crises and an alliance between a panoply of county agencies designed to fill the gap in mental health services. These organizations that work in partnership with the county 501c3 groups would no doubt benefit from the experience, leadership, and advocacy skills which Councilmember Norris possesses, some of which she mentioned tonight, and I'm very thrilled to hear that you are pursuing those things. Mental health is not part of this council's priorities, and it's not among the city's priorities. There's no budget at our level for a health department that would provide such services. In addition to this, citizens are still upset. We continue to receive email and negative feedback. The first event that Councilmember Norris publicly attended, the Stanley Cup presentation as a sort of reward to our employees and a thank you, was posted on Facebook, and I was disheartened to see some of the comments, which I won't repeat for the sake of brevity, but they were very hurtful. To see those comments on a post by our cities reminds me how distracting this issue continues to be. As the city holds more public events, I feel that this will continue to detract from the efforts of staff and the remainder of council. I think I've thoroughly made my position known. I want Linda, I don't want to call you Councilmember Norris. I want Linda, I want you to know how much I support you in your personal recovery and in every endeavor. But I still do feel that your resignation is appropriate under the circumstances, and I know we disagree, and that's okay. But I feel that in making these statements tonight, I have honored my commitment to be a representative for all the citizens of Oldsmar as well. Thank you, Mayor.
Very well. All right, I have some comments I'm going to go through. First off, I want to thank Leisure Services Department for the work they did on movie night. I wasn't in town, and I started getting messages and photos and from folks who were there, what a terrific event it was. The kids enjoyed it. My neighbors went with their kids, and I heard all about it. And so good stuff. Opal Theater, don't forget, Saturday. It's going to be fun out at the park. Those kids worked hard, and the volunteers, and come put that on as a community event. And just a reminder about the drive-through haunted house. That's going to be a pretty cool event, something different for our kids. And, you know, once again, our leisure services are always thinking about ways to continue to do things, and that's on October 30th. Lord Stanley made a visit to this room, which is pretty cool. But I have to say to everybody, you know, we're very fortunate in the relationship we have with the team and the Lightning and our partnership, and you know, they're just terrific partners, and they view us as terrific partners enough to want to surprise us, only give us a little bit of notice, and says it's got to be private, it's got to be just for the employees. It's our way of acknowledging you guys as good partners. But I do want everybody to know that we are trying to work on them to allow us to do a public event so everybody can come. But I have a feeling that if they do manage it, and you can imagine the demand, that it's going to be a very quick notice, purposely, like they did to us, so that we don't overrun someplace in the city of Oldsmar. So stay tuned. Let's hope that happens. They have been just really, really great winners, you know, great winners. And speaking of great winners, I have a sense that we might have another one starting tonight. Just say it, go Rays. Happy birthday, Vice Mayor. And congratulations, Andrew.
Thank you.
You know, I've run races where I got in without any opponent, and I've lost races, and the first one was a lot more fun. So I know you've experienced both,
yeah.
So I respect that. So and Councilmember Norris, look, I've made my feelings known. I want you to get well. I think you're on that path. I think your next chapter will be an amazing one. I really believe that you will put your heart into promoting and advocating for mental health issues. I agree with Katie. I don't believe on the local level. Like, it's not what you were elected to do here. It's just advocate for the city of Oldsmar. But regardless of that, you know, my fear remains the same. You still have a road ahead of you. that could be filled with, really damaging stuff. I hope it's not for your sake personally. That's what I hope. I don't want that for you at all. But I wear the mayor's hat, and I worry about the exposure for the city. And so that hasn't changed. But I think everybody has spoken their piece. You know how we feel. We know how you feel. It is what it is. We're going to move on down the road and focus on the people's business moving forward. We got a lot of good things happening here in the city of Oldsmar. And clearly this team, we expect them to work as a team to get things done for the betterment of the city citizens. I have no doubt that's what we'll do. And so that's just the way we handle things here. So with that, I believe we're probably around the fourth pitch right about now. All right. The chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? We are adjourned.